Welcome back to OG's Kitchen. Today we're going to be working on a recipe for spaghetti sauce and one of my own concoctions of what I call Kong meatballs because they're really large. And so you're going to be able to, we're going to start from start to finish and show you how to prepare the whole thing, including the spaghetti sauce. So today we're going to be using some salt, olive oil, 2 cloves of garlic, some sugar, pepper, basil, thyme, coriander, oregano, red pepper, and what do we have? I use a little Italian seasoning in there. An onion, not the whole onion, but some onion. We're going to be using some tomato paste. And today we have some pasta sauce. And of course salt. That's all the ingredients we're going to need today except for what? The meat. Gotta have the meat. So, and tomatoes. Today we're going to be using 4 tomatoes. We're going to go ahead and put those in the blender and crush them. But first what we're going to do is we're going to blanch them. I'm going to remove the skins off of them so we have nice clean tomatoes. So I'm putting my tomatoes in here to blanch. I want the skins off of these things. Best way to do is just put them in boiling water for a few minutes. Once you see the skins start peeling off of there, you're pretty much done. So basically what we want to do is come in here, once you blanch these things, put them in boiling water, the skin will come right off. And there you go. They're all blanched and ready to be put into the blender and blend these up. But first what I want to do, real quickly, I want to remove this little core here. Which you can do it with a little paring knife. Now what you could do is you can do it any way you want to, but break these things up, you can just go ahead and throw them in your blender. Now what I usually do is just go ahead and throw those in the blender. I have a little spatula here. You might have to bring those down a little bit. Have it on your low setting. You don't want to really whip these things up too much. Just want to basically crush these up a little bit. Just you don't want them real runny. That's about a couple of turns and they'll be all done. So there you go. Now your crushed tomatoes are ready to go. You want more sauce, more tomatoes, obviously make more tomatoes. Today we're working with 4. Okay, so right now we're ready to cook the meat, which you have to do. So get yourself a large pot. Put about, I'd say about a tablespoon of your favorite cooking oil in there. And then we're going to add our meat in here. And if you're going to start your meat out on high, it's alright. And we're going to start just letting your meat. Now we're just going to let that brown. They're going to take a few minutes. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. You don't have to overcook this meat, just brown it. And right at this point we don't want to really add any spices or any seasonings because that's what we're going to be adding in later. Right now your main concern is to cook your meat till it's done. I'm working with about a pound of meat here, give or take a few ounces, but after your meat is cooked, what you want to do is transfer it to a bowl. So after you remove your hamburger from your pot, what you want to do is don't clean out your pot. You're just going to leave all that the residue on the bottom. Add yourself about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and then at the same time Add your about 1 cup. We're working about a cup, little over, maybe a cup and a half of onions. Depending on how much you like onions. If you like onions a lot, add more onions, right? Just brown these onions in your olive oil, right? And while we're waiting, we're just going to go ahead and chop up these garlics. About medium. They don't have to be super soft, but you want them kind of fine. What you want to do is add 2 cloves. If you like garlic, add more. But I'm adding 2 cloves for this recipe. And don't add your garlic to your onions right off the bat. Let your onions cook down a little bit. Because you don't want to overcook the garlic on high heat like this. You'll burn it and then they'll start smelling. So after a couple of minutes, is add about a cup of wine. Whatever wine you like, it's all going to be good. Instead of wine, if you don't want to use wine, use either beef or chicken broth, whichever you like the best. If I'm going to do this, I'm just going to add chicken broth, but you can add beef broth either, or you can add a cup of wine. So either or. Let that cook for a couple of minutes. What you want to do is start bringing everything together here with the wine and the onions and the garlic, okay? So okay, we've let these things cook for a couple of minutes. We got all the juices from the beef all mixed up in there. After a few minutes that things have been going, let's go ahead and add your tomatoes. Let that start cooking. And we're going to add a can, it's 24 ounces, of your favorite pasta sauce. Okay, then at the same time that you add all that, you want to add about 3 tablespoons of your tomato paste to that. And of course, there again, use your favorite tomato paste. Okay. I'm just going to squeeze this all out here as much as I can. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is adding to the sauce. I'm just going to go ahead and mention to you what's in here. I got, well, it's about equivalent to about 3 bay leaves. I got about 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of coriander, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And that's what we're going to be adding today. We got a little bit of fresh basil here that we're going to be adding to additional of that. So this is all going in here. Now also adding just a pinch of red cayenne pepper, and that's all going in there right now, all in there. Okay, there you go. And just let that cook up in there. Now that's why we didn't spice our meat, because we're adding all our spices right now. Okay, so now our sauce has been cooking medium high for about 5 minutes or so, and then time to add our meat. So right now we're going to add the meat that we cooked earlier, and we're just going to go ahead and throw that right in there. Alright, so there you go ahead. Now what we're going to do is play the waiting game. So turn your heat down to, I'd say a medium low, and just let that slow cook for about an hour. Then we're going to be done. Okay, so we'll be back. So here we go, we're getting ready to add our Kong meatballs to our spaghetti. And the way we're going to make the Kong meatballs is a big family secret. Is handed down to us from Devil's Island. And this is, I think it was Devil's Island.
Skull Island.
Was it Skull Island?
Yeah.
That was Devil's Island.
No.
Okay. Skull Island then. Sorry about that. And we're getting ready to do an ancient ancestry recipe here. Okay, we're going to start out with a pound of hamburger. And to the pound of hamburger, we're going to add a cup of panko or your favorite breadcrumbs. To that, we're also going to add a half a cup of finely chopped onions. Throw that right in there. Your favorite deli or Dijon mustard, we're going to go ahead and do a tablespoon of that. Hopefully we'll get this down here, and I hate this crap because it never comes out good, you know, but there you go. So a tablespoon of that. Tablespoon of your favorite Worcestershire sauce. I hope I'm saying it right. Worcestershire sauce. I never could get that quite done right, but tablespoon of that. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do a teaspoon of red pepper. No, I'm going to take that back. A quarter of a teaspoon of red pepper. So unless you like, we're going to go ahead and do that. Now at this point we're going to add about I'd say a half a teaspoon of salt, and the same with the pepper, about a half teaspoon of pepper, and a little bit of Italian seasoning. I would say give yourself about half a teaspoon or a teaspoon. Does that look like a teaspoon? Yeah, I would say that looks like about a teaspoon. Go ahead and add that in there. Okay, so now we have all our ingredients in there, and what you want to do at this point is go ahead and mix everything up. The best way to do this is just use your hand. Okay, so we're finished mixing this up, and make sure you mix it real well. Make sure all your onions and all your ingredients are mixed in real well. Once you get to this point, we're getting ready to make our balls. Okay, so grab yourself a hunk, and what you want to do is make yourself a meatball about as big as a baseball, league ball, and don't compress it too much. Just kind of loosely make a nice big Kong ball, and set that on the side, and do the same thing. Now we're going to make about 4 of them out of that pound. So you're going to wind up with about quarter pounder meatballs. Tablespoon of your favorite cooking oil. Put it up on high. We got our spaghetti sauce cooking in the back there. Don't forget to once in a while stir those up. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to cook our Kong balls. Put that on high. Let your pan get hot. Throw your meatballs right in there. Now, depending on how you're going to use these, if you're going to just keep the meatballs on the side of your spaghetti when you serve your spaghetti, and then you have to kind of cook these kind of well done, or medium well, okay? If you're going to add these meatballs to your spaghetti, then you want to kind of cook them medium, alright? Because they're going to continue cooking for about a half hour in your sauce. So things to remember. So just keep moving your balls around until they're kind of toasty on all sides, you know. And I got them more or less on medium-low till they get cooked. Gotta cook them medium-low. You can toast them at first, kind of caramelize them, but after a while, you want the inside, so you want it kind of like low heat, right? Okay, so we're about ready to put these right into our sauce. The sauce has been cooking about an hour. Maybe we about got another half hour to go, and we're going to put our balls right into the sauce. So here goes. We're going to let those cook for about another half hour in the sauce. Okay, so now we're back. It's been about half hour or so since we threw these Kong balls in there, and I think we're just about ready to call it a fini here. And I just want to show you how that turned out. This is one of our Kong balls that we threw in there, and of course this is it is a meat sauce. So there you go. Basically that's it. And if you make a bunch of these for your guests, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love these balls, and trust me, all your guests are gonna love them too. So thanks for watching OG's Kitchen, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. OG's Kong meatballs with spaghetti sauce on your spaghetti. Can't get any better than that. So, bon appetit. So there you go. How to make spaghetti meat sauce with Kong meatballs, and I hope you enjoyed the hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I hope you got something out of it. Thanks again for watching OG's Kitchen, and we'll see you next time. Bon appetit.